welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean. And in tonight's top stories, we turn to St. Thomas, where the Virgin Islands has recorded its 11th homicide. Lee Carl reports on this and also brings us our crime blotter update.
Well, it's been a busy time for the St. Thomas police, St. Thomas St. John. That fatal gunshot victim found at a stairwell at 22 High Rise. They have not identified him yet. They are still waiting to notify the next of kin, but here is the information we received. This would be the 11th homicide of this year. The body was found in a stairwell of Building 10 at 22 High Rise Housing Community. His body was found in a pool of blood in that stairwell. A brief prepared statement. The police provided very little information. They said the man's body, which appeared to have multiple gunshot wounds, was found around 8:15 a.m., and they couldn't provide much more information. But my sources tell me that the man was indicated that he was a mental patient and had been seen in the Fort Milner area and also Four Winds throwing rocks and bottles into the street and near establishments. We don't know what happened here, and we're not speculating. We're waiting for the official word. But that is the information I received from people who seem to know who this man was. Meantime, the police finally have released the names of the two persons killed almost a week ago. You recall our story on this with a double-play bar and restaurant on Lower from Prince Ngata. The victims in that February 25th double homicide were Gerald Pena, and one of the people there on the scene told me his nickname was Jerry, and he's 25, and Daniel Antonio Gomez Ozana is 26. Both victims were natives of the Dominican Republic, and although the police and our articles here are calling it a homicide, it's been pretty much put together from information I received on the scene that apparently they were either cousins or called each other's cousins, and that they were, as one person put it in the vernacular, hitting on the same woman. As a result, an argument broke out in the bar itself, and one person shot the other person and walked out of the bar. When he realized what he had done, he walked back in, turned the gun on himself, and killed himself. So, although the police are saying at this point homicide, the commissioner said he still believes that there might have been a preponderance to say the word a homicide and a suicide. But again, we'll have to wait until that plays out. The numbers are of course, 1-800-222-TIPS, 715-5545. And today, this is last night, early morning hours, we understand a shooting at 75 Corner. Now, that's downtown, right near the Catholic Church, in that general area near Main Street and Enid Bond Library. And as I was driving from the station today, I noticed Rodney Carrard, the police chief, stopped to ask him, and he said they were looking for shell casings in that shooting. They had no other information other than a person was shot, taken to the hospital, receiving gunshot wounds. Meantime, a stabbing out in the area of Caribbean Saloon. This is in Red Hook, in which an altercation broke out between two people in that bar, and one person was stabbed, and that person was taken to the hospital. And finally, one other quick item here. Reports came to me early this morning that a car was over the precipice near what is called the First Outlook at Solberg. It was a woman in the vehicle who apparently missed the turn. Car went over the side. St. Thomas Rescue actually had to pull her out of the vehicle and pull the vehicle up back onto the road. We don't know her condition at this time. In St. Thomas, Lee Carl for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Lee. And sticking with the topic of crime in the territory, it's Crime Stopper Wednesday. Here's our own Channel 8 Wes Small.
Well, it's Wednesday, and that means it's time for Crime Stoppers. Now, let's start right on St. Croix. We are looking for Marcos Gomez. Marcos Gomez is wanted in connection with an assault in the 3rd degree, carrying or using a dangerous weapon during the commission of a violent crime. Mr. Gomez, he has been known to frequent Walter I. M. Hodge community, better known as Safarelli. He is a light-skinned Hispanic male. And again, his last address was Walter I. M. Hodge Pavilion. Let's go to St. John. asking for information about suspects in burglaries at rental villa properties, private homes, and also businesses. Let's go to St. Thomas. Double Play Bar. Remember the double homicide that happened a few weeks ago? That and the deaths of 2 people. February 25th at 1:30 in the morning. We're still looking for some information on that. And finally, according to former police chief Lieutenant Thomas Hanna, he's in charge of Crime Stoppers, you know. He says we now have 12 new tips. Total tips are 46, and someone has received their first cash reward. If you know anything about this information that I did for today's Crime Stoppers, then you should call 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. And if you're Spanish, you have problems with English, they are bilingual, waiting for you to get the bad guys off the street. So here I am at Ann Schrader Command. That's your Crime Stoppers report for today. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
And in the heartwarming story, over the weekend, and you may have reported recently, we recorded a story with News Channel 8's Wes Small on a turtle that had been ravaged by a few stray dogs, well as suffering from some lesions on its body, and it was taken to Island Animal Clinic Dr. Paul Hess. There, the turtle was treated, and recently, this Saturday in fact, was released in a grand celebration at Sandy Point. The turtle seemed to be doing fine through its recovery, as well as having suffered from some kind of an air pocket which occurred underneath the shell and in between the body, preventing the turtle from being able to descend. He's recovered from all of these problems quite well and is released back into the Caribbean Sea. Congratulations to Island Animal Clinic and all their efforts for our nature preserve. Stay with us on News Channel 8. We have more news after the break.